So in today's video, I will be explaining to you everything about the open schooling. ओपन स्कूल के बारे में बहुत लोगों ने पूछा है, तो ये वीडियो जो है आपको सब कुछ इसके बारे में बता दूंगा। जो नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ ओपन स्कूलिंग हम बोलते हैं, इसकी क्या इसके क्या एडवांटेजेस हैं, व्हाट आर द डिसएडवांटेजेस, इसका फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी क्या है, एंड कंपैरिजन बिटवीन द एनआईओएस एंड द ट्रेडिशनल सिस्टम ऑफ लर्निंग। तो ये बहुत ही एक इनोवेटिव एजुकेशन सिस्टम है। इसका माइंडसेट लोगों का ये है कि इट इज़ नॉट वैलिड, जो बिल्कुल गलत है। तो इसके क्या एडवांटेजेस हैं, व्हाट आर द एडवांटेजेस, व्हाट आर द डिसएडवांटेजेस, एंड व्हाई यू शुड एक्सप्लोर this as an alternative system of education, I'm going to explain in today's session. Many children are now opting out of the regular CBSE system because it is very rigid, and they find that NIOS is much more flexible. So I'm going to compare the two and find out what is the reason that many students are shifting to NIOS, and what are the advantages versus the disadvantages of both, right? So on this note, I'm going to start today's session. तो सबसे पहले ओपन स्कूलिंग होता क्या है? सो ओपन स्कूल इज बेसिकली यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू अ स्कूल, यू आर डूइंग द schooling from your home, but you are getting the resources online, or you may choose to hire private tutors, or you may go to the official website and download the material and study on your own, or you can hire a tutor for yourself, right? So it's a very revolutionary idea. It is quite recently that people have started shifting to open schooling because it was not much recognized, especially in India. The mindset was that open schooling is not valid. But the government has made it very clear that open schools are very much government initiated. No, it's not a private thing started by a person or organization. It is a government funded and government operated, fully recognized across India, right? So it is having full autonomy, and it is a self-paced learning. That means you can study at your own pace. आप जब चाहे पढ़ सकते हैं। ये नहीं है कि आपको सुबह स्कूल जाना है और 2 बजे तक वहाँ पढ़ना है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है। आपको जोन से सब्जेक्ट्स चाहिए, यू हैव द फ्रीडम ऑफ चूजिंग सब्जेक्ट्स, अनलाइक सीबीएसई विच इज़ वेरी रिजिड इन टर्म्स ऑफ व्हाट यू हैव टू चूज। तो यहाँ पे 20 सब्जेक्ट्स का ऑप्शन मिलेगा आपको, उसमें से कोई भी 5 लेना है। सो दैट ऑल आई विल बी शोइंग यू इन टू द वेबसाइट। तो इसमें उन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए ये बहुत फ़ायदा रहता है जो फॉर एग्जांपल स्पोर्ट्स में है, म्यूज़िक में है, आर्ट में है, जो बहुत कुछ करते हैं, तो उनकी क्लासेस मिस हो जाती हैं। सो एज अ रिजल्ट, यू नो दैट सीबीएसई स्कूल्स आर वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट ऑन द अटेंडेंस पार्ट। तो इसमें वो सब आपको प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगी, बिकॉज अटेंडेंस इज़ नॉट मैंडेटरी हियर एज पर दी रूल्स। तो इसमें बेनिफिट बहुत लोगों को होता है, जैसे किसी का education has stopped due to different reasons. Financial problem हो गया, there is a loss in the family because of which you were not able to do studies, so you left your studies in between. या कई स्कूलों में हम देखते हैं कि बच्चे जाना नहीं जाते स्कूल में because of XYZ reasons, especially आजकल bullying बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया है, मेडिकल इश्यूज आ जाते हैं। सो बुलिंग की वजह से बच्चे डरते हैं जाने में, या फिर ऐसे सरकमस्टेंसेस हो जाती हैं फैमिली में ड्यू टू विच दे आर नॉट एबल टू पे द हाई फीस ऑफ द स्कूल। तो उन स्टूडेंट्स के लिए बहुत अच्छा है, फाइनेंशियल और फैमिली इशू जिनके हैं। सो दिस इज़ अ वेरी गुड सिस्टम, एंड दिस गिव्स यू सेकेंड चांस एट लर्निंग। कई लोगों ने छोड़ देते हैं और फिर आगे कुछ नहीं कर पाते। सो इट्स इम्पॉर्टेंट दैट you continue your education system. Even if you are 18, 19, 20 or 21 years, you can still go back to your class 10 and complete that, because everything is based on your school education. Universities are going to be open to you only provided you complete your 10th and 12th. Nowadays, we find that a lot of universities have started entrance. IITs and medical तो थे ही, अब even general courses भी CUET के through ही admission हो रहे हैं. So there is a lot of preparation involved, and some students are not able to manage the pressure of the school as well as the preparation time for the entrances. So बहुत से लोग क्या करते थे, डमी स्कूल में एडमिशन लेते थे, बट द CBSE has banned these dummy schools. So dummy schools is illegal basically, बट दिस इज परफेक्टली लीगल। आप ओपन स्कूल में एनरोल करते हो तो ये एक लीगल सिस्टम ऑफ गिविंग एग्जाम्स है। तो बहुत से बच्चे जो एंट्रेंस के लिए प्रिपेयर करते हैं उनके लिए भी ये बहुत यूजफुल है। Then another category is the rural learners. जिनको 10 किलोमीटर 20 किलोमीटर ट्रैवल करना पड़ता है ऑन फुट, और दे हैव टू क्रॉस रिवर्स टू रीच स्कूल, सो उनके लिए ये बहुत यूज़फुल है। हिली टेरेन वालों के लिए यूज़फुल है, बिकॉज इट इज़ वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू ट्रैवल लॉन्ग डिस्टेंसेस एंड रूरल लर्नर्स इससे बहुत ज़्यादा बेनिफिट ले सकते हैं। एंड ऑफ कोर्स एथलीट्स एंड आर्टिस्ट, एज आई सेड, उनके लिए बहुत शेड्यूल उनका बहुत टाइट होता है, प्रैक्टिस के लिए टाइम होता है, सो जोनल्स के जाते हैं, नेशनल लेवल स्टेट लेवल ऐसे पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं, तो इनके पास टाइम नहीं होता है। सो दिस इज अ वेरी गुड सोर्स open to you for continuing your education along with your interests like painting or your sport or music, and very useful, as I said, for those who are preparing for their entrances. सो रिजिड शेड्यूल्स इसमें कुछ नहीं होता है, आपको अपना बस टाइम निकालना है अपने हिसाब से, वीकेंड्स में या जब भी आपको टाइम मिलता है उस हिसाब से आप पढ़ सकते हो। सो ओपन स्कूलिंग इज ऑफरिंग यू ए सेल्फ पेस्ड लर्निंग प्रोग्राम। तो इसमें आप अपना एजुकेशन एंड वर्क, फैमिली एंड योर इंटरेस्ट इन स्पोर्ट्स, म्यूजिक एक्सेट्रा कैन बी बैलेंस्ड। So that is why the open schooling is done by majority of the students who fall into this category. अब advantages पे आ जाते हैं. What is the advantage of joining an open school? First of all, as I said, it's flexibility. You can study anytime, anywhere. कभी भी जब आपको टाइम मिलता हो उस हिसाब से, रात को, सुबह, आफ्टरनून में, जब भी आपको टाइम मिलता है आप कर सकते हो. यू कैन क्रिएट योर ओन शेड्यूल अनलाइक दी ट्रेडिशनल स्कूल्स विच इज हैविंग अ फिक्स शेड्यूल, राइट. देन पर्सनलाइज लर्निंग हो जाता है, आपके जो पसंद के सब्जेक्ट्स हैं आप चूज कर सकते हो. और जैसे ट्रेडिशनल स्कूल्स में क्या होता है कि जो स्कूल्स ऑफर करते हैं आप वही सब्जेक्ट्स आप ले सकते हो. सो दिस इज गिविंग यू एक्सेस टू पर्सनलाइज्ड लर्निंग. थर्ड इज इंक्लूसिविटी. नाउ बहुत से मार्जिनाइज्ड ग्रुप्स होते हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल इन रूरल एरियाज, इन हिल्स, वेयर स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट एबल टू एक्सेस टॉप क्लास एजुकेशन बिकॉज ऑफ फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम्स. तो उनके लिए भी ये बहुत अच्छा होता है. कई लोगों के पास ट्रांसपोर्ट एक्सेस नहीं होता है, तो वो भी होता है. घर में प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं तो वो भी उनके लिए भी यूज़फुल है. People on transfer, there are a lot of people who are continuously on transfer. For them it is a very useful mode. And it is uh, students who are traveling abroad continuously because of their parents find it difficult to adjust to the different curriculum that is there. कहीं IB होता है, कहीं ICSE होता है, कहीं American Australian curriculum. There are different types of curriculums across the world. So this becomes a very, very easy way for the children to adapt, for children of parents who are traveling continuously. Then, of course, it is cost effective. Now we know that the school admissions and the whole process of learning in schools, especially in the so-called elite schools, is very high, and the fees is continuously increasing, and therefore it becomes a very cost-effective way of completing your education, and that too from a recognized organization or from the government of India. So reduced expenses as compared to regular schooling, and of course quality education which is affordable to more families. Then we come to the disadvantages. So obviously when we're talking about advantages, there are some disadvantages. The first and foremost is of course the limited social interaction, because here the child is studying on their own or through online resources. So it is useful for those people who already have a social circle outside the school hours. So it could be a neighborhood, it could be other communities where you are dealing. So if you're into sports, you may be going to academies. If you're into music, you may be learning there. So in school, the interaction that you get, that will not be available here. That's one disadvantage. Second is the practical learning. So if you're taking up subjects which has got a lot of practicals, that will not be here. So you'll have to choose subjects which has less of practicals and more of theory. लॉट ऑफ सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन इज रिक्वायर्ड. जिन बच्चों में डिसिप्लिन नहीं है वो तो टाइम वेस्ट करते रहेंगे, एंड दे आर नॉट एबल टू कंटिन्यू द स्टडीज. सो देर इज अ लॉट ऑफ डिटर्मिनेशन रिक्वायर्ड ऑन द पार्ट ऑफ द स्टूडेंट टू स्टडी एंड सेट अप अ टाइम शेड्यूल. एक टाइम टेबल बनाना है जिसके हिसाब से वो करेंगे, राइट. एंड द माइंड सेट ऑफ द पीपल द माइंड सेट ऑफ द पीपल इज दैट व्हेन यू आर फ्रॉम द ओपन स्कूल, दे डोंट treat it at par or is not treated equivalent to the other boards. So it is being given equal validity, still the mindset of the people are different. So these are the disadvantages. But considering the advantages, I think people can ignore the disadvantages and see the whole thing in a positive context so that their future is better. Going further, this is the history of the NIOS. It was established in 1989 by the Indian Ministry of Education, and now it is known as the National Board for Open Schooling, right? And in short, we call it as the NIOS. The headquarters is situated in Noida, so you could visit it, but most of the things are online, so you can do it from any part of India. So it's providing flexible education both for 10th and 12th, and there are also courses. If you have not done your basic education like class 5 and 8, you have the option of doing that as well. And the certificates are recognized nationwide for academic advancement and government job eligibility. So it is supporting learners and it is serving millions of students at the moment. So who's going to benefit this most is students with interrupted schooling. So there are a lot of people who have left class 10 or 12 studies due to circumstances. So they could continue with their education with this. Working professionals could upgrade their studies through the open schooling system. We have a lot of adaptive learners who are requiring specialized subjects, so they could do take up the specialized subjects here, which is not available in traditional schools. People living in rural communities and living in hilly terrain can benefit from the education system given in the NIOS. The unique features, there are lots. One is the on-demand exams. Whenever you want the exams, there is a portal which you can log in, and when you are prepared, like let's say आप पांच में से you have prepared two subjects, right? So you could give those two and give the three later. So बहुत flexibility है. There's a lot of flexibility out of the five subjects that you are supposed to give. You have prepared two. You could give those two and three later. So there is a credit transfer system. So suppose you have done two subjects, three subjects you can do later, 1 year later, 6 months later, that's up to you. And you can also transfer these credit points from one board to the other. So if you're studying in a CBSE school, you can easily shift to a NIOS system, or similarly a state board and IB, you can easily shift because your existing credits will be transferred to the NIOS. And of course, it gives you a lot of skill-based programs along with the academic. So you have a lot of courses like IT, agricultural, yoga, health science, entrepreneurship, which will help you in your career. And there are a lot of resources available, which are called the open basic education, which will help people who have not got even basic education of primary or class 8. They can do this and then qualify for the 10th and 12th. So it is suitable for all the people who are left education or looking for alternate schooling. So this is a comparative chart that I have made between the traditional and the NIOS. If you see the flexibility, NIOS is highly flexible. It's a self-paced program and multiple exam attempts are there. In the traditional, you will find that it is more fixed with annual exams. And of course, 75% attendance मांगती है. If you don't have 75% attendance, you will not be able to give the exam. Look at the curriculum. In the NIOS, you have a lot of flexibility given to you, which is not there in the traditional CBSE or state boards because it's very structured and you have limited choices. In the open schooling system, the learning mode is through resources which you can download and it is basically online. Of course, you can go to the study center and also study. They give you a few classes, which is normally 30 to 40 classes that can be availed in a year. In the traditional schooling system, you have to go throughout the year with a minimum percentage of 75%, and most of the instructions is given by the teacher, which the student follows. If you look at the next point, that is social interaction in the NIOS system, it's limited. because it's dependent on the self learning, whereas you have daily peer interaction in the traditional schools. Recognition both are nationally and internationally recognized respectively. The cost is definitely very, very low in the NIOS. It's a very minimal fees. You'll be spending just about 2000 rupees a year, whereas in the traditional schooling, it would be anywhere from 2000 to lakhs per month. So this is going to be the comparative study of the two. So on this note, we can say that open schooling is a gateway for your success, and India has provided this opportunity for students. In fact, a lot of students from other countries also make use of the NIO system to upgrade themselves. So it's giving you a lot of flexibility. It is giving you a lot of accessibility for diverse learning, and individuals can take care of their educational destinies and career trajectories. So it is definitely an alternate way of studying and achieving your goals. So on this note, I'm going to show you how to go to the site. So what you need to do is take out your Google browser and just type in NIOS to get in all the details of the registration. So if I'm going to just type in NIOS, I'm going to get the first link here, home, National Institute of Open Schooling. You can click on that and you get this page, right? Now, when you get this page, and you can look at the programs. Here you can download the prospectus. This is secondary, which is class 10, and this is senior secondary, which is class 12. Here we have open basic education, vocational education. So this is those who have not done class 8. So if you've done class 8, you could register for 10th. That is secondary. If you've done your 10th, you can register for class 12, which is senior secondary, right? So if I'm looking at the secondary, if I click on the secondary, here you have uh, the full details that you are there, and you will also find this link of the secondary course equivalent to class 10. So when I'm clicking on this, I'm going to get the subjects that are being offered. So here we have lots and lots of subjects here. We have group A and group B. So group A is basically your languages. Now here at least one language we have to choose, unlike the CBSE system, which is where we have to choose minimum two languages, or in some cases now the three language policy is being adopted. So this we have to choose minimum of one language. So you could choose two also. So if you want to choose English, then you can do that. Or if you want to choose more than one, you could choose that too. So you can choose one or you can choose two from group A. And then we have to choose three from group B. So in group B, you will find a lot of subjects here: maths, science, social science, economics, business studies, home science, data entry, psychology, Indian culture, painting, data entry, accountancy, Hindustani music, Carnatic Sangeet, and so on, right? So these are the options, and you could also take additional subjects. So minimum is five, you can take more. If you look at the senior secondary, you have lots and lots of courses. You have group A, the subjects, group B, you have maths, home science, psychology, geography, economics, business studies, painting, data entry, operation, and so on. You have group C subject, group D, group E, and group F, where the learner can opt only one subject from C, D, E, and F. So you have to choose one from C, one from D, one from E, one from F, and one from group A, that is the languages, or you could also take from group B as well. So this is what is all about. So it's very easy, and you will get all the resource material here, open educational resource material. Everything can be downloaded here. You have online course material here. You have student information section. So it's a very useful website. Everything you will get. And you could also register for yourself by clicking on the admissions. So when you click on the admissions, you are going to be directed, and here you get the admission prospectus, and you could register yourself here, academic. So here I can click on this, and here you can select your state, your identity type, whatever state you are belonging to, you can put in your Aadhaar card or whatever and give the entry number. The course that you are applying for, you can select all this and submit it. Then you submit all your basic details, the subjects that you want to choose for the exams. You need to upload all your documents. जितने भी आपके documents हैं, whatever you are applying, your photograph, your Aadhaar card, your birth certificate, all this, and then you submit it for approval. Then you wait for approval for about a month or two, and then you will get a message that your admission is approved. And once you get your approval, you could give the exams within 6 months. So I hope this session was useful, especially for those students who are considering alternative system of education. Thank you and God bless you all.